Hello everyone and welcome to another Topatory video. And we are here once again in the laboratory. I asked them to replace the fencing with stone bricks, and I think they took that in the most literal sense. So we might need to fix this, but I don't know. If you guys like it, we'll leave it, but it's a little messy. In any case, we're here because we want to get some chunk loaders. Now, the chunk loader mod, or chunk loaders mod, I think that's what it is. The chunk loaders mod basically loads in chunks where if you are away from a chunk, the stuff won't load in. But if you have a chunk loader, it will load in that chunk constantly. So let's say if I have some pumping of oil off in one location from Buildcraft, make sure to check out my Buildcraft review. And let's say I'm away from that chunk, I want that pump to still pump out oil and send it here. I need a chunk loader to load in that chunk so that it can keep on working that chunk to load in that oil pump and oil rig and all that stuff. So that's basically what this is about. Here we have each one of them, and the chunk loaders in themselves work the exact same, except for the fact that one of them gives you more chunk loading ability than the other. The way that these work, by the way, is that you place them down and they open up a map, and the map indicates like the terrain and which chunks you want to load in. So basically it doesn't load in the entire 7x7, though you could have it load all the 7 chunks, but you can choose which locations you want to load in. And there's a good reason why you don't want all the chunks loaded in, because it would cause a serious amount of lag on the server or your single player world, because there's some stuff going on off in the distance. Like if you load in like a 7x7 area, it's going to load in everything within that 7x7 area, and it's going to cause some problems if you have multiple of these around the world. So let's go over the crafting recipes. So you don't craft a single chunk loader, you craft a basic chunk loader. And the basic chunk loader is made with an ender pearl, obsidian, iron ingots. Yeah, you get the chunk loader like that. And to get the single chunk loader, you take this basic chunk loader, put it back on the crafting table, and you get single chunk loaders. To get the advanced chunk loader, you get the basic chunk loader, gold ingots, and then blaze powder. And then the ultimate chunk loader is diamond, eyes of ender, redstone, and you put the advanced chunk loader inside there. So the recipes themselves, they look expensive, but they're not actually that expensive. And so let me actually place down the ultimate chunk loader just to show you what the map looks like for that, because this one has the most advanced map. As you can see, this is the map of the location. The quarry is off in the distance here. The owner icon is clearly messed up, but so we have the river here, we have the base here, we have the ship right here. And we're gonna ask them to load in these chunks. Like I said, we could ask this thing to load in all these chunks, but we're not gonna do that. So we can have these 4 chunks loaded here. So let's go back to that location where I'm pumping out oil, and we'll put down a basic chunk loader there. Alright, so I'm at the site where we are pumping out oil, and as you can see, the entire rig that I have conveniently is in one chunk, which means that I only need to load in this one chunk, which means that I can cause less lag on the server while pumping out water and oil for whatever needs I would have them. Make sure to check out the Buildcraft stuff once again to see how this works. And it's really interesting, and there's also some Buildcraft alternatives within those videos as well. So let's go back to the quarry, and let's place the chunk loader down there so that the operational system of the quarry and all that stuff works 24/7. Alright, so as you can see here, you can tell that the chunk loader is working because the water right here, before, this was actually empty in the previous videos at least, and what that means was this thing wasn't showing that the other stuff was pumping out water. It was just pumping out basically nothing because the chunk wasn't loaded in. So now we have a tank of water, and the tank of oil, of course, is right here, so that is all good. And now we can put in a chunk loader here, and let's see, that actually doesn't load in anything. So these 2 things are in actually like separate like chunks. So put down the advanced chunk loader. The quarry is here, here, and here. I can tell by the redstone blocks on the map. It's supposed to be a redstone block somewhere here. I'm trying to figure out where that is. Ah, right here. And so now these chunks are loaded. So that's really neat. It actually loads in the chunks. So thank you guys so much for watching. The chunk loaders are very simple to use, they're very simple to craft, and they're in general very, very nice. So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video of Topatory.